All right, guys, welcome. Welcome to our friends on Facebook. We just recorded for our friends who are live here. And guys, I want to share with you 3 tips today on how to come up with great content if you're one of those people that doesn't have any results yet. I get this question a lot, and it's really an important topic because so many people are at the beginning of their journey. They look at, some top earners who are sharing things or people who have been doing videos and it seems so natural. And people sort of flip out and get the wrong idea. And it's not at all hard, actually, how to get started. And so I'd like to share with you a couple of ideas. So if you've got, and let me know, are you in this position? I know Grace and I, we were, established professionals in other areas. But when we came into affiliate marketing and network marketing in 2014, we didn't know what we were doing. I had a little bit of experience earlier, and but that was 10 years old already when we restarted. So it really wasn't working. And actually, what unfortunately we found is that the industry hadn't changed in 10 years in 2014 that much. So what I'd been taught long ago that didn't work then in 2014. But we discovered this world of sharing and lives and attraction marketing in 2016 and really began to change our business. But you might be discovering it now or just new to the industry, or you might have tried various things and not been able to be successful. So, maybe you can identify, no name. Now we had a name, but it wasn't a name in network marketing from that standpoint. No brand, no big check, right? No team, no success. So what do you share? So I'm going to share with you 3 tips on this, and I think it's going to be helpful for you guys. I'm going to give you some practical suggestions as well. So let me know if you identify with this. Give us your comments and your thoughts. But if you've been in that situation where I don't know what to share, what can I share? Because I don't really have anything, that I can teach about or share about. I don't have credibility. I hear people tell me that a lot. I don't have any credibility. Well, you do, actually. But here's the first tip that I would give you, and it's got a flip side. So it's a 2-sided coin, right? But the first tip is, how many of you have ever been told, fake it until you make it, right? Fake it until you make it. Yeah, we were told that. And it really offended me because it seemed dishonest. And I mean, it basically is, right? Fake it until you make it. Now, you can, I suppose you could say out on social media, a lot of us are putting our best foot forward. That's one thing. But to fake it, to misrepresent what you've done is one thing. So how do you go out if you don't fake it until you make it? How do you start? And let me give you the single best tip that I can give you. And that is share what you are learning. That's tip number 1. So don't fake it until you make it. That's the flip side of the coin. Don't fake it until you make it. Don't do that. That'll just make you feel slimy, inauthentic, and people can tell when you're being inauthentic. But do share what you're learning. Now, in order to share what you're learning, what do you have to do? You have to be learning, right? Okay, so that's that. But that's the positive thing, because if you don't have results, you should be learning, right? You know that, right? We all know that. And even when you have results, you should be learning. I'm absorbing content and learning every single day. In fact, right now, I'm going back through blog. Last week, I went through emails that I had written 4 years ago and rewrote them for today. And this week, I'm going through blogs that I had written 4 years ago, 3 years ago, and rewriting them and updating them for today. Why? Because I wasn't very good back then. I'm better now. I've learned some things, but also I have experience that I can add to what I wrote before. And so that's a natural thing. But in the beginning, I didn't have that. So what did I do? I basically regurgitated what I was learning. I was very fortunate to have a mentor named Ray Higdon who produced daily content. And I would listen to Ray, and he teaches that you should um, uh, invest your time, you should learn, and then you should teach. ILT is what he calls it. It's the ILT method. And if anything ever stuck with me through my whole career, it's what that simple formula that Ray taught me, because he said every time you learn something, if you don't share it, it's like an uncashed check. And why would you have, let me get an uncashed check. I actually have an uncashed check over here. And it's from January, right? So I haven't actually cashed it. So I earned this, I got it, but it doesn't do me any good if I don't take it to the bank and convert it into cash. Actually, this will expire after a certain period of time, like 90 days or 180 days typically. Not valid after 6 months from date of issue. So it's the same thing with what you've learned. It's not valid after a certain period of time if you don't put it into play and if you don't teach what you learn, all right? So don't fake it till you make it. Share what you are learning. That's really important. So there's the second tip relates to the first, right? Share what you're learning. And that is find resources to help you find content, because to share what you're learning, you have to be absorbing content. And you should be doing that on a regular, consistent basis. So, all right, hey, wait, James, what should I be learning? What sort of content should I try to learn? And, I would recommend you find at least 3 sources that you can consistently read for your regular development, learning about marketing, affiliate marketing, network marketing, mindset, all these kinds of things. I would recommend, if you've never subscribed to his channel before, Ray Higdon, I would really recommend him as a source of income. A second place you can go is our website, globaladsuccess.com. And we've got now over 200 blogs on a variety of topics on attraction marketing, blogging, prospecting, recruiting, what not to do, what to do. I mean, there's all kinds of topics. So you could go there once a day, read a blog, and teach what you learned from the blog. And you could do the same thing with Ray Higdon, those 2 sources. A third one, you could join the attractionmarketing.com Elite Marketing Pro community. And we have something we call the Daily Dose of Awesome. It's a video we get every single day. I watch them almost every single day. And it's just 15 or 20 minutes. Someone does a short video with some daily tips, really short, pithy. And sometimes, so I get ideas from a lot of different places, but Ray is one I get good tips from, the Daily Dose of Awesome, and the videos and the ideas that come from there. Those are also good places. But if you're always learning, you always have something to share. You get that? If you're always learning, you always have something to share. Just share what you learned. Take a few notes. I learned something, I watch a Daily Dose of Awesome, I'll take, a couple of notes, and I could do a Facebook Live on that. I'll put it in my little file of, material. I start to save up material, and I just, I might put it into, sometimes it's scratched on the back of an envelope. Sometimes I'm better organized and I put it into my notes on my laptop. But it's easy. So just find resources that help you find content, because it's that content you'll learn, and it's that content that you'll share, and then you are sharing what you're learning. So first tip, share what you learn. Second tip, find resources to help you find content. And the third one is to find sources of inspiration. That would be stories. Get some things that will help you to share a story. Now, where do I find inspiration? Well, life is full of inspiration all around us. You can watch, if you have children. I mean, our son inspires me all the time. I just love talking with him, have funny conversations with him all the time, and some really serious ones. He loves to engage with his dad as well. So we have this little banter going back and forth. He's now 15, and he's a freshman in high school, learning all kinds of stuff about life. Girls, fighting, sports, how to succeed, how to study, how to build relationships, what kinds of relationships to avoid, what kinds of in relationships to invest in. Life is rich when you're 15, and it's also tremendously humorous. So there's a lot of, he gives us a lot of content, right? Talking with my son the other day, you probably have heard me talking about that. Another one, a lot of people, so children or family, right? Another one, sports. A lot of us love sports. Me, I'm also now a soccer referee. I did a live the other day, just inspired by the fact that I was out refereeing in a soccer tournament over the weekend, and I love our community of referees. And so we often are getting attacked by everybody else around the game. Coaches are attacking us. Players may disagree with us. Parents are idiotic sometimes around referees. If you've ever sat in a stadium and said, ref, then you probably identify with what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm one of the guys that you would yell at, right? So we have a really close-knit community. We actually talk to each other. We help each other to improve. We lovingly, hopefully constructively, criticize and help each other. But anyway, that's a source of inspiration for me, because I love my brothers and sisters in the referee community, or helping me to get better. I love helping them get better. Iron sharpens iron, as the Great Wisdom book says. So, we also, learn from each other, and even the conflicts that we have out on the field with, sometimes if we don't get something right, we always make mistakes. I've learned to really be much more accepting of my mistakes, because it's impossible to go out and referee a soccer game without making mistakes. And it's impossible, like last weekend, I refereed 7 matches. It's impossible to go out and referee 7 matches without being tired and without making mistakes. It was just literally impossible. So I've learned to be forgiving of myself, and learned how to also share with other people my vulnerability. I can just tell them I can only do the best that I can. I can only call what I see, whatever that is. Don't want to get into soccer refereeing so much. But the point is, find sources of inspiration. I found a source, that for me, that community, that bonding is a source of inspiration. Music. People love music. You can play a song and see how that inspires you. Faith, people who are people of faith, that is obviously a source of inspiration. So children, sports, music, faith, pick a couple of things and share about that. And you will always have something to share. You could do a live every day. Life is going on all around you. If you are committed to sharing what you're learning, that's the first tip. Finding sources to help you find content. And remember, I recommended Ray Higdon. I also encourage you to take a look at our blog, Global Ad Success. If you want to join Elite Marketing Pro, attractionmarketing.com, that's an amazing source of content. We have just every day different videos and presentations and sharing, and we have also sharing inside of our community. I'm bombarded with sources of content and also inspiration, people succeeding around me. And then thirdly, share what you're learning. Don't fake it till you make it, but share what you're actually learning. Find sources to help you to continually learn, to have content, and then find sources of inspiration so that you have stories, relatable stories. Now, whether they're your own stories or other people's stories, people identify with stories, right? So, and it's also, we always love to be lifted up. And so if you can do those 3 things, you will have amazing ability to post content. And other resources, it doesn't have to be just about marketing, right? If you're in a company, find resources about the product area that your company is marketing. Find sources of information about entrepreneurship, but you could also become a subject expert and share about the subject. So that's another area. So again, share what you're learning, find resources so that you can get content and different types of content, and then find sources of inspiration, whether it's your family, your kids, music, sports, faith, whatever it is that inspires you, cat videos, I don't know. But whatever that is, be able to share that. If you have those three things, you just remember those three basic things, you'll always have something to share. And so that's how to come up with great content, even though you have no name. And when you have no brand, no big check, no team, no success, you have what you've learned. And that puts you a step ahead of the people who haven't learned that, right? I hope you realize that. You're always a step ahead. If you're always learning, you're a step ahead of someone who hasn't yet learned. And so that's enough posture for all of us, most of us at least, to go ahead and share what we've learned, because those people will appreciate it. And, I've also often found that people love, they as much as they identify with someone who's already there, they love someone who's going through the journey, because they can identify actually better with you as you're going through the journey and you're learning and step by step. That is an encouragement to the people around you. Well, if he or she can do it by just doing this simple stuff, I can do it too, right? So that's actually your own doing that is another source of inspiration and teaching, because you're teaching them to do these simple steps, and that will inure to their benefit, and likely they will be one of your followers. So trust that's been helpful. Thanks for watching today. Hope you have learned something on how to share and make great content. We appreciate your joining us today. Give us a like, share it with your friends,